You don't miss her the most when she's gone. You miss her when something feels off and you can't explain why. Because the truth is, sometimes she never really left. Not emotionally. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you isn't something most men ever notice until it's too late. When a woman detaches, it rarely happens all at once. And when she starts coming back, it's even quieter. You're expecting grand gestures, messages out of nowhere, confessions. But that's not how a woman re-enters your world. Not when she still has pride. Not when she's unsure if you've changed. And definitely not when she's afraid of being hurt again. Instead, she moves in silence. It starts small, almost invisible. Maybe she watches your story again, after weeks of silence. Maybe she reacts to something, but keeps it subtle, just enough to exist in your space without fully stepping into it. You'll question it. You'll wonder if it means anything. It does. But not in the way your ego wants it to. See, when a woman begins to circle back, she's not chasing you. She's studying you. She's measuring the emotional temperature. She wants to know, are you still the same man she walked away from? Or have you become someone she can feel safe with again? And here's where most men fail. They rush. They see one sign, one small opening, and they flood it with attention, neediness, or worse, desperation disguised as confidence. And just like that, she disappears again. Not because she didn't care, but because you confirmed her fear. You have to understand something deeper about female psychology. When a woman comes back, she doesn't come back for the version of you she left. She comes back hoping, quietly, that you're no longer that man. That's why her signals are controlled, measured, even confusing. She might not text you directly, but she'll find ways to exist around you. Mutual spaces, familiar patterns, subtle reminders that she's still there. Not for attention, but for reassurance. And if you're not emotionally aware, you'll miss it completely. Or worse, you'll misinterpret it. Because this isn't about decoding her actions like a game. This is about reading emotional intent beneath behavior, and most men were never taught how to do that, so they chase certainty. When what she's offering is curiosity, they demand clarity. When she's testing emotional safety, and they try to control the outcome, instead of becoming the kind of man she naturally gravitates back to. Let me be very honest with you. If she's coming back, she's already fighting an internal battle you can't see. Part of her remembers why she left. Another part of her can't fully let you go. And right now, without saying a word, she's watching which version of you shows up. Because that will decide everything. There's something you need to understand, and it might sting a little. When she starts coming back, she doesn't trust you. Not yet, and that's why her behavior will feel inconsistent. Almost confusing. One moment she's present, the next she pulls back. You'll feel like she's sending mixed signals. But she's not. She's protecting herself. Because in her mind, history matters more than your words. You can say you've changed. You can act confident. But she's not listening to what you say. She's watching what you repeat. Patterns, reactions, emotional control. These are the things she's studying now. And here's one of the biggest silent signs she's coming back. She becomes curious about your life again, but indirectly. She won't sit you down and ask how you've been. Instead, she'll ask mutual friends about you. She'll notice changes in your routine. She'll observe how you carry yourself, what you post, what kind of energy you put out, because she's trying to answer one question. Is he still the same man who made me leave, or is this someone new? And the answer isn't in your words, it's in your consistency. Another thing you'll notice, she starts responding differently. Not more often, not instantly, but differently. There's less resistance, less coldness, a softer tone, maybe even a hint of warmth that wasn't there before. It's subtle, but it's real. This is her lowering the emotional walls, just slightly. But don't mistake this for full openness, because right after that, she might pull back again. And this is where most men get frustrated. They think, why is she acting like this? Why come closer just to distance again? But what you're seeing is emotional conflict in real time. Part of her wants to reconnect. Another part is reminding her why she had to walk away. So she tests. She might take longer to reply, just to see if you overreact. She might cancel plans, to see if you become needy or stay composed. She might even bring up the past, not to argue, but to see if you've truly grown. And your reactions, they tell her everything. You see, when a woman is considering coming back, she's not looking for perfection. She's looking for emotional stability. Can you stay grounded when things aren't certain? Can you remain calm when she's inconsistent? Can you respect her pace without trying to control it? Because if you can't, then in her mind, nothing has changed, and she'll slowly fade out again. But if you can, something shifts. She starts to feel something she didn't feel before, or maybe hasn't felt in a long time with you. Safety, not excitement, not attraction, not even love, yet safety. And that's the foundation everything else builds on. So if you're noticing these quiet shifts, the curiosity, the softer tone, the tests, don't rush to label it. Just understand what it really is. She's not back yet, but emotionally, she's finding her way there. Here's the part no one tells you. And if you don't understand this, you'll sabotage everything without even realizing it. When she starts coming back, she's not looking for the old connection. She's looking for a new experience with you. That means the jokes that used to work might not land the same. The dynamic you once had isn't what she's responding to anymore. And if you try to recreate the past, you'll remind her exactly why she left it. This is where emotional intelligence separates you from every other man she's walked away from. Because most men think attraction is about doing more, saying more, proving more. But in reality, when she's reconsidering you, attraction is about restraint. It's about what you don't do. You don't chase her when she pulls back. You don't over-explain yourself when things feel uncertain. You don't try to force clarity before she's ready to give it. And that restraint, it does something powerful. It creates space for her to feel, space for her to think, space for her to come toward you on her own terms. Because if she feels even a hint of pressure, even a small sense that you're trying to pull her back in, she'll instinctively resist it. Not because she doesn't care, but because she needs to feel in control of her emotions this time. Another silent sign she's coming back, she starts opening up, but only in fragments, not deep conversations all at once, not emotional confessions, just small pieces, a random memory, a casual mention of something personal, a moment where her guard drops for a second and then goes right back up again. That's not inconsistency, that's trust being rebuilt, slowly. And if you're paying attention, you'll notice something even deeper. She starts mirroring your energy. If you're calm, she relaxes. If you're grounded, she feels safer. If you're emotionally unpredictable, she shuts down again. Because right now, she's not just reconnecting with you. She's reconnecting with how you make her feel. And that's everything. See, women don't come back because of logic. They come back because something about you feels different, in a way they can't fully explain. Maybe you're more composed now. Maybe you don't react the way you used to. Maybe there's a quiet confidence in you that wasn't there before. Whatever it is, she notices, even if she never says it out loud. And that's when the dynamic begins to shift. She invests a little more. She lingers in conversations a little longer. She becomes just a bit more present, still cautious, still measured, but no longer distant. And here's where you need to be careful, because this is the stage where men get comfortable and then careless. They assume she's basically back, so they drop their awareness. They slip into old habits. They stop leading emotionally. And just like that, the connection weakens again. Not because she changed her mind, but because you showed her that nothing really changed at all. So if you feel her getting closer, don't celebrate too early. Stay steady, because what you do in this phase determines whether she keeps coming back or quietly walks away for good. Now listen closely, because this is where everything either comes together or falls apart without warning. When a woman is truly on the edge of coming back, she stops testing you as much. Not completely, but you'll feel the shift. There's less distance in her tone, less hesitation in her presence. She doesn't just respond, she engages. Conversations start to flow again, not perfectly, but naturally. And for the first time in a long time, it doesn't feel forced. But here's the part most men misunderstand. This is not the moment to lock it in. This is the moment to stay in control of yourself. Because the biggest mistake you can make right now is thinking you've won her back. You haven't. You've simply created an environment where she wants to come back. And that's very different. Because attraction built on pressure fades quickly, but attraction built on emotional safety and respect, that lasts. So instead of trying to define the relationship, let her reveal where she stands. Instead of asking, "What are we?" Watch what she does. Does she make time for you? Does she invest energy without being asked? Does she show up consistently, even in small ways? These are the answers that matter. Because when a woman is genuinely returning, she doesn't just say it, she demonstrates it. And there's one final sign, the one most men overlook because it doesn't look dramatic. She becomes peaceful around you, not overly excited, not emotionally intense, just calm. There's no tension in her voice, no guarded energy, no subtle resistance. And that calmness, that's trust. That's her nervous system telling her, it's safe to be here again. And if you've led yourself correctly, if you've stayed grounded, patient, and emotionally disciplined, that's when everything changes. Not overnight, not in one big moment, but gradually, steadily. She chooses you again, not because you chased her, not because you convinced her, but because you became someone she didn't feel the need to run from anymore. And that's the real power most men never discover. It's not about getting her back. It's about becoming the man she wants to return to without fear. So let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. If she walked back into your life today, would she meet the same version of you she left? Or someone she finally feels safe choosing again? Write your answer in the comments. And if this hit deeper than you expected, like the video, subscribe, and share it with a man who needs to hear this, because sometimes the difference between losing her for good and getting another chance is understanding what was never said out loud.